done a lot of shorts on this scooter, and now it's time to dive into all the nitty-gritty details. Let me grab the keys, turn this on, and show you some cool stuff. You have 2 key fobs. You gotta hit the unlock button. Very loud. And then there's a lightning bolt button in the middle, and that turns the scooter on. There's a lock button, and when you do lock it, if you try to move it, ear-piercing alarm. I think your vehicle is gonna be safe if somebody tries to steal it. So to start off, I wanna show you the lights. Start in the back. Got a cool looking tail light. It wraps around the back of the frame. If you hit the turn signal on the end of the grip, check that out. I just think that looks pretty awesome. You also have one on the front. It shows up on the dashboard, but there's no noise and you have to turn it off. There's LED lights that wrap around the fronts and they go back on the side about 6 or 7 inches. And then you have some more underneath, gives an ambient glow. There's a headlight. If you hit this button, this turns on the 2 bottom lights. Now you just got a ton of light. On the right side, this turns off all the lights. All the way to the right, it shuts off the LEDs. You got hazards, as you would expect. The blinkers on the grips light up. Both of them in the front light up. It's a little bit dark in here. I want to show you just a cool looking dashboard. There's a speedometer, multicolored, and this changes between battery percent and volts. I'm gonna walk around and show you all the pads. Yeah, you got your standard backrests, and you have pad here for your seats. There's a pad underneath. This also has a speaker, which I'll talk more about later. And then here, I don't know why they put a pad there, but they did, because your feet go on the side. And then you have a pad in the front with the Will Masson stuff on there. Here's everything in the cockpits. First thing, you have these interesting looking grips. So this is a leather piece that they just cross-stitched together with this twine. This is as tight as I can get them and they still move. You can't take this off. It looks like electrician's tape underneath, so it doesn't look the nicest. You got mirrors that just screw on. I don't like how the arm is so short, because this is basically shooting right back at my shoulder. You got a horn, and then this is the Bluetooth stereo, and this also has a USB and TF card slots. I turn this on.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Very loud speaker underneath the saddle. And then you have 2 smaller speakers here. If you're cruising, you'll be able to hear your tunes. Here is the fan and the heater is for the grips. I already talked about these 2 screens, but not this, which is an analog clock. A nice little touch. This comes with it, and this is obviously a phone holder, but it charges your phone as well. So this is the speed mode, 1, 2, 3. Nothing is displayed in here when you change this. I'll show you how fast it can go in just a few minutes. This is the reverse button. Woo-wee. So you have to hold that button down and the throttle at the same time to go in reverse. In the front of the scooter, you have a windshield. You just screw it in here and here. These are the hydraulic brake reservoirs. They're on each side. I'll do a demo on the brakes a little bit later. You got motorcycle style suspension, then an off-road motorcycle tire. And check out those rims. I do like the look of those. Over on the other side is the brakes. Just a huge rotor with a very cool design. Those look like teardrops. Makes me want to cry. The foot pegs do fold up. Sounds a little janky, I'm not gonna lie. This is one of the charge ports. There's an identical one on the other side. Above that is a 12-volt charger. This is the other side, and you have, again, another place to charge it up. Up above that, instead of a 12-volt, you have 2 USB. In the back, you have full spring suspension, and you can adjust the spring. This is also where the motor's at. And then they got this carbon fiber looking fender. It looks like if you loosen this and this, you can adjust that, move it up or down the wheel. And check this out. It's got a Panda Bear on the tire, and the rear wheel is about 2 inches wider than the front. And then you got this 110 power cord. I'm not exactly sure what this is used for. A couple things I didn't like as far as the design is all the welding scars. It's just kind of gnarly looking, not the cleanest. Up here by the head tube, I think it is interesting that the front fender is different color than the rear, and this matches the frame where the back one doesn't. I think that's all the features. I'm gonna hop on, go for a ride, and show you how it performs. Well, let's first find out how fast it can go. All right, there's 50. That was 51 with a slight downhill. I'm gonna go up that exact same road and see what we get with a little bit of a uphill. We're at about 40 to 41 miles an hour. I wanna show you guys how quiet this motor is. Oh man, and it's actually pretty poppy too. Pretty much zero motor noise. All you can hear is just a little rumble from the tires. Everything's welded and locked in nice and tight. And I love the seat cushion. You got plenty enough padding. As far as comfort, ride feel, noises, things like that, 10 out of 10. Power for hills. Oh, you got plenty. Man, I was hauling butt up this mountain. I am standing at probably close to 10,000 feet. That's where I came from down there. Now, as I'm up here, I want to talk about range and give you a battery update. I had a full charge when I left. It's down to 65%, and I've gone like 12 miles, averaging about 20 miles an hour. I think that's pretty good. As I'm headed down, let's test out the brakes. And this has brakes that you find on motorcycles. Light braking, sounds pretty good. And then for some hard braking, ooh, yeah, you got plenty of stopping power. I saw a little bit of smoke come up because my brakes were burning a little bit. Oh, hello, dear. Look at that. Nature's neat. That's why I call it nature. Anyways, back to the brakes. I'd say go easy on the brakes if you're going downhill all the way for multiple miles, because this does weigh close to 200 pounds. Now, some of you might be wondering if you need to be familiar or comfortable on a motorcycle to ride this. I would say no. I mean, there's definitely a unique feeling to this, and it's a different ride than a bike, but it's pretty easy to ride. To me, it kind of feels just like a bigger bike. I made it back home, and I wanted to just give you a battery update. So now it's saying 61%. At the top of the mountain, I was at 65%. Basically just coasted all the way down. So in 40% battery life, topping the scooter out, I weigh 180 pounds and got over 30 miles. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you like this design? It is quite funky. Let me know in the comments. And if you want to check out other products like this, I've done a few other bigger sit-down scooters. I'll have them here somewhere. Go check those out. Thanks for watching and take care.